Audio morning brief for the U.S. grain markets. I'm Rich Paz for Critical Point. Just completed almost an hour long weekly update in the stock market, and it looks like my program crashed on me. Probably going to split that into just quick model output and then more discussion, opinion, and fundamental information. And in the future, I may look at that as well as for grains if we're getting into long-term scenarios here. All right, our scripts. All right, corn market until it trades above yesterday's high of 480.5, and probably should use a prior high of 481.25. The trend is down into a level 3 bottom. That level 3 bottom can show up anytime today into Monday, Tuesday of next week. I think I'm going to go, if it takes out yesterday's low of 467.25 December corn, I think it's down in tomorrow, but I think that's going to be the level 3 bottom. So I think the market snaps back up sometime next week for level 3, but it's going to have very little time for it. So I think we got more range trade all the way into next week and more long-term base building. This market just does not want to get up and going here. But at the same time, I think the downside's limited. I don't think the bears really have it to push it much lower. But we do have to be concerned if it gets near the low of the week at 461 and violates that low, that it's probably going to bottom maybe at 460. It might trap some people, but it might go to 454, even down to 450. On the upside, if it were to be turning around and if it trades above the overnight high of 474 with any kind of conviction, I would assume a level 4 upswing into tomorrow. And if we get a level 4 upswing in tomorrow, then I think it's possible the market is heading higher for that level 3 top. And I guess another way of looking at it, give me a positive close any day now and early next week, got a level 3 bottom. But I'm going to be concerned there's not going to rally for all that long into a level 3 top, and then we'll get a down close for a sign of that. But if it can take out that 481 level or something like that, then there is potential for the low 490s. So let me flip over. That was the daily chart. Daily indicator, by the way, is rolling over a sell signal. Really wasn't overbought, in my opinion. It was near it, I guess. But I think we kind of got a lazy market here where the short-term traders are at least trying to accomplish something. They want to make the market move. They want to try something. But I think the big players and the players that need corn for months on end, weeks on end, and the speculators putting on big moves, they don't want to do anything. All right, weekly indicator, and that's the sell side and buy side, by the way. Weekly indicator, quite oversold, narrowing spread. It's setting up for a buy signal. If we can get this to trade above this week's high of 480.5, bam, we've got a level 1 bottom in place. I do think we got a level 1 bottom in place. If I'm wrong on it, it's only level 2. It bounces for a few weeks, probably down by January. I'll talk more about that in the weekly update. But for the moment, let's give the bulls a chance. This is just yet another opportunity for a very significant bottom. I'm bullish in the next summer still. Just maybe early. May have problems here. Mud on my face. Okay. Only if I could talk. Let's move to the January soybeans daily. All right, model saying level 3 top yesterday, but the model's really not that bearish. Model's saying we may get a level 3 bottom as soon as today, tomorrow. It doesn't have to bottom to early next week, but it ought to bottom no later than early next week. The model's saying what we're really seeing is level 3 tops and bottoms on the way up of a larger trend, and it does not matter. The larger trend is what matters. All right, so they're just playing games here. So they pulled it back to the 5-day average for the Jan beans, and it can bottom today for level 4. Problem is, it doesn't have to bottom tomorrow for level 4. So I can see somebody gambling here, even though it's on the daily chart. It is a bit overbought here, but not extremely so. It's just barely so. But I can see gambling a little bit, trying to pick something off in the 5-day average, but you're at risk. It just goes lower tomorrow. You're also at risk that, you know how the beans are. They can kind of come down slowly, and then all of a sudden, boom, just drops. And I've noticed that for the business cycle, they'll wait to the last minute and then just boom, drop. And then the cycle's in, it's over. If you panic sold, well, you probably got stung, all right? So I can't tell you. I can't tell you from the intraday stuff here. There's a bottom today, there's a bottom tomorrow, all right? But what you might use for a clue, if it trades above the overnight high of 1387.75, that's probably a sign level 4 bottom is probably turning up. It could be a fake out and still be back down, but to me, I would feel rather optimistic bullish on it, okay? Now, of course, trade above yesterday's high, 1398.5. That's an easy one because you can make an argument either level 3 trend is just extending for a couple more days. That's how you'd normally do it. But the model's saying, no, no, no. If it goes above 1398.5, we got a brand new level 3 uptrend. This can stay up for 1.5 weeks. And those objectives, 1420 and higher, can work. Okay? So I think there's very limited downside here. Now that I've said that, they'll probably slam it all the way back to 1340, and that's how it could, that's feasible, okay, for a level 3 downtrend. But the problem is we're looking for that level 3 bottom now and early next week. I think it's rather limited here. I think this market is just kind of consolidating actually since last week, but it had a little bullish fling there, and it's just digesting things. And they're probably waiting on the next round of news out of South America. So that's what could make or break what I'm telling you. So do keep an eye on what's going on down there. The weekly chart pulling back here after punching through that tentative trend line, punching through last week's high. But the model's saying it ought to be higher next week. It can be higher 2 or 3, 4 weeks. It ought to extend this level 1 uptrend. But yes, a top is coming. Yes, a pullback is coming. But the model favors at least a little higher than this. And if it could really fire up Brazil, it might be up quite a bit than this. The weekly chart is overbought. Warning of a top. It is, or at least slower rising, putting the brakes on. But even as of this week, it's rolling over for a sell signal. Now, if it gets a sell signal, but the market closes higher, more so if it can close it right this price now, 1375 in my chart, that's a low confidence sell signal. Normally, I'd say you got to wait to the following week to see if they want to start selling it and then try to go with it then. And normally, you'd even wait for the closing of next week. Well, that's too late, too slow for me. But, you need some confirmation. It's not good enough. In other words, it could be a leading indicator. You have to be concerned. It can still work, but it can also be a little bit of a fake out here. I'm going to go with this market's going higher. I got a bullish near-term bias, okay? But I'm looking for that top. We're also getting closer to it. It's been a very nice run-up for this time of year. It's okay to back it off. And when it comes time for that level 2, it's probably coming down to $13 if they don't put it much over 14.20. We'll just see. In other words, there may be a disappointment down the road that the Brazil crop's just doing fine anyways. But in the near term, I think they're going to play that weather scenario just a little bit longer. All right, let's move to the December wheat, Chicago daily. And they just couldn't help themselves. They blasted it lower yesterday. I thought they were going to put the brakes on, and they pumped it lower today, and they took out the prior low, and we're back to looking for level 1, level 2. So it seems the wheat was kind of delayed catching up with corn. Still doesn't change anything long term. Still looking for long-term bottoms. Still looking for level 1 bottoms. And I'll just explain that and show it in the weekly update. It is very oversold right now and narrowing spreads, so it's not suggesting a chance for lingering downside momentum. It may be, and the model's saying, well, it doesn't have to bottom early next week, so be a little bit cautious here, but a positive day now and early next week, probably a level 3 bottom, probably level 2, level 1 bottoms, probably even a long-term bottom. Past results not necessarily indicative of future results. Have a great day. Thank you.